Good evening and welcome to the Pompey Politics Podcast, Prime Minister's Questions Special, where we dig into PMQs without the hooting, the hollering and the general playground antics. I'm Ian Tiny Morris.
And I'm Simon Sainsbury. We'll leave the hooting and the hollering to the guys in Westminster.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, I'm off brand, aren't I?
Just a reminder to everyone, please do remember to like, comment, follow, to let us know what you think of the PMQs and indeed of our commentary. Remember to give us a like, follow, or a subscribe wherever you're catching us. So yes, PMQs back from a short break of only a week. So should we get right into it?
Let's dive in, because obviously there's plenty to pick over this week.
Oh, of course.
We come to the Leader of the Opposition, Kemi Ben.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And can I associate this side of the House with the Prime Minister's comments about Ukraine and Team GB? Mr. Speaker, before the Prime Minister and I became MPs, parties of every colour increased the cost of going to university. The system is now at breaking point for graduates. I believe the student loans have become a debt trap. It is time for all of us to do something about it. Will he cut interest rates on student loans?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have to say I'm glad to learn that the Leader of the Opposition has finally admitted that they scammed the country on this. And that applies to everything they did in government. We inherited their broken student loans system. We've already introduced maintenance grants to improve the situation, which they scrapped. And we will look at ways to make it fairer. And we will do other things within the economy to help students. What other things they say? The news this morning, Mr. Speaker, 7 a.m, energy bills coming down by £117 for millions of families and young people struggling. That's guaranteed money off bills in April, driven by the action that this Labour government has taken. We promised to cut the cost of living. We are cutting the cost of living.
Mr. Speaker, I asked him if he would cut interest rates on student loans. No answer. And for the record, energy bills are still higher than when he came into office. He keeps talking about the last government. In case he hasn't noticed, my party is under new leadership. A lot of people wish his was too, including the backbenchers sitting behind him. But let's talk again about student loans and student fees even. Because to win the Labour leadership, yes, with Labour together, the Prime Minister promised to abolish tuition fees. In opposition, the Education Secretary said, graduates, you will pay less under a Labour government. I wonder what happened to those people. But can the Prime Minister tell us whether graduates are paying more or less under Labour?
Prime Minister.
Certainly many in her party are under new leadership, Mr. Speaker. They're up there. The only change she's brought to her party is to make it smaller. And she talks about interest rates on loans. Mr. Speaker, not only have energy prices come down this morning, but since we were last here across the dispatch box, inflation has fallen as well, which has a huge impact on interest rates. Fallen to 3%. And the Bank of England say it's going to keep on falling. That's only happening because of the decisions that we made at the budget, opposed by the party opposite. They talk about the cost of living. This government is taking action, and under their watch, inflation was 11%, which crippled the state of finances for students as their loan rates went up.
Mr. Speaker, I am amazed that while we're trying to talk about student loans, the Prime Minister has the cheek to talk about my party being smaller. His party is smaller too, including one MP who was arrested for child sex offences. So perhaps before he gets on his high horse, he should ask why his backbenchers are saying that they're being called the Pedo Defenders Party. Yes. So why don't we get back? So if he... Yes, I didn't say it. I know it makes them...
Sorry. OK, let's have less. Not.
I know they don't like it, Mr. Speaker.
Does the honourable member want to leave at this stage? Just understand, I want to hear the question, because it's very important that I do hear, because I may have to make a judgment. So I don't need any more shouting.
I know they don't like it, Mr. Speaker, but I haven't said anything that's not true, have I? So perhaps, they should get off their high horse, stop making stupid jokes, and why don't we talk about student loans? Yes. Policies that may have been fine for 2012 with low interest rates are not fine for 2026. The fact is, graduates are paying more, not less. On Monday, the schools minister was asked on the BBC why Labour froze the repayment thresholds. She said the government has, and I quote, huge pressures. Those pressures have been created by his taxes and his borrowing to pay for more welfare. Why is the Prime Minister taking from students to give to Benefit Street?
I thought I'd just pause it there, just to kind of give us a way to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of come in there. That kind of went from 0 to 60 quite quickly.
Well, I think in terms of a debate that turned into a pub fight, it kind of got pretty ugly pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah. We kind of went
I
from
get-
the it's all bad because of how you left it to you lot are a bunch of pedo sympathisers.
Well, and I guess there is that base of, and I guess this is fundamental to PMQs, because it's that the question was about student loans. And student loans, yeah, but what about energy prices? Well, energy prices, to be honest, are dictated by pretty much the global price of oil and gas, which I don't think either government has much arrangement over. And then we got on to, and we brought inflation down to 3%. Yeah, and you lot, it was at 11, and you think, yeah, but it was about 3% when the Conservatives left office. And weren't we all just meant to be talking about student loans? Yeah, well, you're a bit shit, you are. You've made your party smaller. Well, what about you kiddie fiddler deniers? It was like, oh, for fuck, would you pair of you just grow up? I'm sorry, I know I've used inappropriate language there, but you did really?
Well, it seems strange to kind of call the PM up for basically making a party political point, and then make a very, very aggressive party political point. But having said that, no one's answering any questions.
No, if we actually look at the issue in hand, and apologies, my Lib Dem friend, as I know tuition fees might be just a touch triggering for you, hun. But
it's not the C word, though.
No, it's not the C word. We'll step back from that.
Coalition.
You just look at it and think, well, yes, there is the whole thing around student loans, yes, it is complex. It is fundamentally becomes a tax that you pay once you cross a threshold of earnings, and if that threshold stays the same and inflation is at 3% or 11%, then those earnings are worth less than they were. So I'd actually quite like to hear the answer to the question, but I'm not sure I'm going to be blessed with it, am I?
No, I think there is a whole conversation about how what previously could have possibly been argued as a system that, depending on your point of view, either did or didn't work. It definitely isn't now, because students are being screwed on two fronts, because the percentage that they're paying or being charged, the interest rate is so high.
Yeah.
And the rate at which they start to pay back has been frozen, just like the personal tax allowance. So let's carry on, because otherwise, on my phone, we're going to be here all night. So
it's going to be an hour long, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be punchy, but not in the way that those two.
Well, it's definitely
exactly.
Punchy,
Let's go.
Yeah.
What a nerve. under their government, student loan thresholds were frozen for 10 years. 10 years. They broke the system. They did it with a bloke over there when they were in coalition together, and we're fixing it. Now, she used to say just a few weeks ago that she was going to focus on the economy at the exclusion of everything else. So I'm doing her a favour by bringing it back to the economy, because 117, desperate to talk about the economy, £117 off energy bills, inflation going down. The other thing that was confirmed on Friday, Mr. Speaker, borrowing is coming down, the biggest surplus on record. That means we've got the economy back under control. We're fixing the public finances. Now, I know the party of Liz Truss don't understand any of this, but she should welcome those changes when she next stands up.
Can they not?
Mr. Speaker, he says they're fixing the student loan system. How? He wasn't even talking about this until I raised it. The fact is, those policies...
And it goes for the row as well. Chair Select Committee expects a standard, not to shout somebody down. Ken Ben.
Mr. Speaker...
I don't need any back chat. Ben.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. He's only talking about student loans now because I raised it. He says they're fixing the problem. The fact is, he's not. Why is it that I'm willing to ditch old Conservative policies that don't work and he wants to keep them? He's not going to do anything about it at all. On Monday, they voted to increase benefits yet again. The fact is, he is taking money out of the pockets of graduates and giving it to people who are not working. It is not fair. It is not just that he is saddling graduates with debt. It's not just that he is saddling graduates with debt. Yesterday, the Bank of England, yes, where she used to work in customer services. Yesterday, the Bank of England... Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the Bank of England said that his policies are fueling youth unemployment. That's not us, that's the Bank of England. For the first time ever, youth unemployment is now higher here than it is in the EU. And while he blames everyone else, our young people can't get jobs, they are losing hope and even leaving the country. Will the Prime Minister tell us how he plans to deal with it?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, she says she's ditching failed Tory policies. It's a very long list. 14 years of list. And it starts with the word sorry. And when she says that word, we'll take her seriously. And Mr. Speaker, she talks about the Bank of England. The Bank of England have reduced interest rates 6 times. We've seen the fall in energy bills. Inflation is coming down. Borrowing is coming down. She hasn't welcomed any of that. I know she wanted to talk about the economy. She wants to talk anything other than the economy. Perhaps she'll welcome the surge in retail sales as well. People are spending more on our high streets because of the action that we took. Wages boosted for millions of workers, opposed by the party opposite. Free breakfast clubs, opposed by the party opposite. Free childcare, opposed by the party opposite. Every measure we're taking to improve the economy, what do? They oppose it.
Mr. Speaker, he is desperate to talk about the last government so that he can distract from the mess that he is making now. The fact is, he is the Prime Minister today. This is a man who got legislation in to fix his own pension, just him, no one else's. He won't sort out student loans for other people. He has no plan to get young people into work. He has no plan to help graduates get out of the debt trap. They can complain as much as they like. These are facts. 411 MPs, and not a single one of them has any imagination. We are the ones doing all the thinking. Yes, he has already... Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has already made 15 U-turns. Will he make another one next week at the Spring Statement to fix the student loans system?
She wants me to talk about this government. Bills down under this government, £117. Inflation down under this government. Surplus up, record. Resales down. She won't welcome the economic news, but the business community is welcoming the plan. Business confidence is up. The FTSE's at a record high. the President of the British Chamber of Commerce has said this is the year our economy can turn around. Her miserable strategy of talking down the economy isn't working because Labour's got a plan for Britain.
Can it be not?
I'll pause it there because your eyebrows went.
I'm just for those of you that either are listening, I'm her miserable plan of talking the economy down. I just wasn't that exactly I guess are we all trying on each other's clothes today?
I don't know, but I do think that the point about expecting the opposition to apologise for their previous policies. I mean, I can get that plays well within your own party, but that's not. No one's going to be doing that. That's that sort of kind of confected indignation.
Well,
I don't know that it washes.
No, and I think there is an element of, and I think she acknowledged it. The policy that worked in 2012, or might have been right in 2012, isn't right
now.
The
policy for now.
Now, and she not, a broken Conservative policy is how she described it. Well, you kind of that's acknowledging the mistake, isn't it? And I find the responses from Mr. Starmer or Sir Starmer just vacuous and I know that PMQs is meant to be.
Words.
It is almost leaving me lost for words because it's for me there's a question and I do wonder whether I know the speaker's trying to keep order and stop the hoovering and shouting, but answer the bloody question. £117, 14 years. Is it just answer the bloody question?
We need to start like a bingo for the kind of the standard phrases. Should we play on?
Yeah, go on.
Mr. Speaker, it'll only turn around this year if he stops being the leader. Perhaps they can do something about that. He wants us to welcome economic news. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to welcome the fact that youth unemployment is at its highest ever. I am not going to welcome the fact that unemployment has increased every single month under this Labour government. He is not doing anything about student loans because he is not governing. And he is not governing because he cannot govern. He is distracted by Labour scandal after Labour scandal. Mr. Speaker, even today now, there is an inquiry into the Inquiries Minister. That is all that they have offered since they came in. The defining moment of this man's premiership will not be breakfast clubs. It will be the sight of the man he appointed as ambassador to Washington just last year getting arrested. No wonder they're calling themselves all sorts of things. He needs to stop moaning about us and start fixing his useless government. Why should the country have to put up with 3 more years of this?
Yet again, she's shown why she is so utterly irrelevant. Carping from the sidelines, trying to talk down the economy.
Hello? Please, I want to hear the question, so do your constituents. Prime Minister.
All she does is carp from the sidelines, talk the economy down, talk the country down. In the meantime, because of our work, what is happening? Energy bills down, as announced this morning. Inflation down. Borrowing down. And what's up? Retail spending is up. Investment is up. Business confidence is up. That's the difference a Labour government makes.
Leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Ed Davey.
Can I join the Prime Minister in congratulating Team GB on our most successful Winter Olympics ever? And can I also join him in solidarity with our Ukrainian allies and friends after 4 years of them resisting Vladimir Putin's war machine? Mr. Speaker, the former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, has raised deeply shocking concerns that Jeffrey Epstein may have used British airports and even RAF bases to traffic young women and girls in and out of our country. This is appalling. The Prime Minister knows that I agree with Gordon Brown that there needs to be a full public inquiry into all this. If he doesn't agree with Gordon Brown, will he, at the very least, commit to releasing the flight logs and related documents? Will he wait for the House to force the government to do that?
Prime Minister.
Well, I think it's important to appreciate there's obviously a police investigation going on, and I think it's right, and I'm sure he agrees with this, that that has to go wherever the evidence takes it, and we have to let that investigation run its course before deciding what next action needs to be taken.
Sir Ed Davey.
Well, I think we all agree that police investigations should take priority, but that doesn't rule out a public inquiry, and it certainly doesn't rule out releasing the flight logs, which I think really should be. Mr. Speaker, on a different note, it's been revealed the trustee of William Blake House, a care home for adults with profound disabilities, embezzled £1 million. There are very few homes in the country which offer this sort of care, and now it faces closure. As a father of a disabled son myself, can I tell the Prime Minister this situation is one of my worst nightmares? It's one of the worst nightmares of many parents with disabled adult children. The families of the residents have put forward a rescue plan to take over William Blake House and run it themselves. It will require HMRC resolving the debt issue and the Charity Commission to appoint an independent board. So will the Prime Minister meet with the families and back their plan?
Prime Minister.
Can I thank him for raising this case, which is obviously a cause of considerable concern, and of course I'll make sure that the relevant meeting is put in place for all of the individuals who need that meeting. But, Mr. Speaker, I also have to raise this. A death threat was shared by Reform's Deputy Council Leader in Lancashire against the brilliant member for Bolsover.
Yeah, sorry, pausing there. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that what PMQs should have been?
Yes, without the pantomime and the Punch and Judy stuff.
Yeah, a question from an uncomfortable question from Sir Ed Davey. A guarded response from the Prime Minister, who answered the question. Another important question by Sir Ed, an evasive but answering the question from the answer from the Prime Minister. Isn't that what it's meant to be?
I know you and I quite often, when we look at local council meetings, we quite often compare them to. You wouldn't have any sort of meeting in any other in any business, in any workplace that conducted itself in that way, and I don't understand why we're rewarding the Punch and Judy politics, and why that's allowed to happen, because it's not it's just it's not useful time, is it, for anybody? The point is to raise questions, flag issues, and get answers, or to get the right person to look at it. And
and I think the inflation down, underpants down. Well, I just becomes nobody's listening. Nothing's being because can we bed knock? It becomes a rap battle of stupidity. Can we bed knock? Unemployment up, youth unemployment up. It's I found it rather exhausting. And to be fair, when Sir Ed Davey comes as the voice of reason and sensibility,
well, of course,
no, fair play. So let's hear what the Deputy Council Leader for Somewhere for Reform said about the Honourable Member for Bolsover.
Yes, so my apologies. I should have paused and explained this part of the PM's speech was at the tail end of someone else's question, but he basically led this in because the next question was coming from Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform.
Oh, so he's got a bit of preemptive strike before Nigel gets
I left
it
in because it kind of sets up that scene. But
that's perfect. No, let's go. Let's see what the Deputy Council Leader said about the member for Bolsover.
It said she should be shot. when death threats were made against the member for Clacton, I stood at this dispatch box and condemned them outright. If he has any decency or backbone, he will stand up, apologise, condemn the comments and sack the individual in his parties. Will he do so?
I thought it was PMQs, not. I thought that I'm just kind of like, so it's, if we change the format in the sense that now the Prime Minister is asking the questions.
Yeah, it's maybe the PM asks the Qs is the new version.
Well, I guess it still works as a title.
And
but
well, and I guess there are many that might believe that Nigel is the Prime Minister in waiting. So let's have a look, shall we?
Do you want to take any bets on what the answer was?
Did
he condemn it?
I don't think that he. Yes, let's see.
Let's go.
Nigel Farage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At the age of 14, Michel Mandarin was forcibly removed from his home, the coral atoll of Ile-de-Quoi, dumped on the quayside of Mauritius, forced to live on food scraps out of bins. He has resettled those islands and yet now faces a removal order from yet another Labour government. So maybe twice in one lifetime, he's going to be asked to leave his homeland. Can I ask the Prime Minister, for a government that is full of human rights lawyers, within and without, why do the opinions and human rights of indigenous Chagossians not matter to him at all?
Prime Minister.
So he has neither the decency nor the backbone to condemn a death threat to a member of this House, whichever party they are in. He doesn't have the decency or the backbone to condemn it and to sack the individual. And that just shows that his party have got nothing to offer the country but grievance and division. Look at their candidate in Gorton and Denton, a man who says anyone who isn't white cannot be English. No wonder he's been endorsed by Tommy Robinson. It doesn't represent our country, and anybody who wants to stand against that hatred and division should vote Labour on Thursday tomorrow in Gorton and Denton.
So that was our clips.
Wow, and what a splendid exchange that was to finish. It was a game of three halves, if that's not apocryphal.
It makes about as much sense as most of PMQs. What were the three halves for you?
Well, the three halves were, obviously Kemi and Kia punching lumps out of each other, and the performative chanting of up, down, down, up, down, up. And then Sir Ed and Sir Kay having a bit of, we better talk about a serious politics here. And then finally ending with, can I refer you to the rap classic, The Next Episode by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg? Are you familiar with it?
I'm sorry to say I'm not.
Well,
some of our listeners are.
Possibly. Well, let me just say it is a rap classic. It is approached with caution, as much triggering language in it. But I've always been absolutely certain that either man didn't have a clue what the other man was going on about, and it just sounded like the two of them were in two separate phone boxes. And I'm going to say a thing. I'm going to pretend you've not said a thing. I'm going to say another thing. I'm going to completely ignore the thing that you've said and go back to the thing that I've said. Credits.
Yeah. I think this is kind of a step beyond not accepting the premise of the question and just having two parallel conversations or two parallel
just parallel
monologues without intervention. It's I don't know that it's quite that useful. It was nice to see that Nigel Farage managed to find his way back to the chamber. after his little trip abroad, where he seemed to be trying to help people in small boats get onto an island, which was interesting.
Oh, novel, and the plight of refugees is obviously something that he seems to have discovered. But I guess we are slightly off topic in it, and I'm not sure, dear listener, whether that has shown you too much. If we are here to provide insight and answers, I think we've probably given you a bit more than PMQs itself. But yeah, I think probably you and I need to be taken on as highly paid consultants to perhaps,
I don't know about that.
PM. Don't know, rule it out. I think that we could bring a certain order and efficiency to PMQs.
I think there are things that most reasonable people would want to change so that works better, and is actually a useful exchange of views or question, or indeed even questions followed by
And
answers. I know that sounds like a radical suggestion, but yeah,
that's possibly. Well, we're never going to get the gig, right? So on that bombshell,
yes,
you've been listening to the Pompey Politics Podcast Prime Minister's Question Special. I've been Ian Tiny Morris.
And I've been Simon Sansbury. Please do join us for our next episode, which is on Sunday, where we're doing a review of the Portsmouth City Council full council budget meeting that took place yesterday. So we'll be entertaining you with some more clips of that and some lovely things. But also do join us if you'd like to join in and comment on our cut and thrust of the PMQs. Do join us next week. Same time, same place. Like, follow, etc. Comments, send biscuits. See you then. Don't forget to like, follow and comment on Facebook, or comment and subscribe on YouTube. Find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, X, YouTube, Threads, LinkedIn.